I'd like to introduce somebody who exemplifies the work of being a peer in this community and pass things over to Trina Thomas. Trina works at Columbia Community Mental Health, aiding and assisting clients. Trina has had over 8 years of being clean and sober and has been working in the recovery field for over 7 years. Her credentials include a CRM, PSS, QMHA, and a CADC1. Trina enjoys working with community partners to help individuals who struggle with addiction and mental health. Her personal experiences help her connect with individuals and to help create rapport. Trina has changed her entire life completely from being in and out of foster care systems, criminal systems, addictions, and houselessness and domestic violence, and is proud of overcoming that trauma to help serve as a purpose to others in the community and help be their voice and connect them with services. Trina, don't worry about slides. I'm happy to advance those whenever it's convenient for you. So you just let me know. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Trina Thomas.
Good morning. This is going to be my first time sharing. So as we work with a peer's perspective, I work specifically right now with aid and assist clients, and I find that that is also mental health with addiction. When we're working with them, it's important to keep in mind the different types of transitions and expectations when working with all clients. What do I see during this population during transitions is I go into the jail or the Oregon State Hospital, meet with clients, plan for the release. I do just a quick intake with them to make sure like what county they're coming from, where their support is, if it's family in the county, if they got in trouble in a different county, which would be our county, but they are living in a Multnomah county, to try and I guess, gather information to best support the client upon their release. When they come out of their jail or the Oregon State Hospital, it can be very scary for them. They don't know what's happening. They don't know how the legal system works. They're unmedicated or they're coming out on medication. I bridge the gap to help them get a phone, food stamps, transportation. As a forensic team with my department, we make sure that we can supply all of that with our clients. And also like work with community partners to help them navigate through the system, which means including family, if they have to have guardianship present, all kinds of stuff can go on with them. And if they don't have a peer support to help them, it could be scary, and then they can just be released and back to homelessness and keep going through the cycle. So I work with legal skills with clients. I also give them rides to medical appointments. They get placed in RTFs or other transition placements, respite care. And I work with them to make sure that they can get to all their medical appointments. We make sure that I heard someone mention sisters to make sure their OHP's on. So, I mean, we would just do all those kind of wraparound services to help clients succeed upon release and transitioning out. Mental health is big too. We make sure that they have all those appointments set up coming out of the state hospital or getting them intake if they need more help with just mental health and addictions. The lack of housing is very hard because sometimes when clients come out, we have to give them a tent because there is no respite housing for them, or they don't have, if they're coming from a broken home, they don't have families to rely on, or they burnt those bridges, right? So there's not enough housing for everybody out in this population to be successful. But being able to relate to them with my own personal experiences and to have empathy for what they're going through. They sometimes, I feel like individuals can relate better, and I build a rapport with them coming from, you know, my own experiences and history. So we have a lot of times where clients are stuck in the system on aid and assist and obviously in respite or stuck in the court system and they're placed somewhere. they want to leave. So it's for me to like go over what can happen and the consequences that can follow if they do leave, to help walk them through this mindset that they just want to go. They don't want to deal with this anymore. It's too much for them. But for them to be able to give me a call and me to walk them through that, or drive down to where they are to help them process what's going on so they feel heard and they feel valued, that gives them so much connection. And I've had so many clients stay where they're at, follow through with the process, feel heard and understood. So having peers like the work I do, I feel it's very rewarding, because I feel like I'm their voice. Like if they can't communicate right with community partners or where they're placed at, it helps me bridge that gap to where it keeps them engaged, and it helps my team, like while I'm out getting ROIs or working with community partners or trying to help navigate them to just keep going forward to be successful. I feel that it helps them, and it helps my community partners to have a little more understanding and see a different perspective than just a clinical perspective. There's more, to each client. So that's what I do when it comes from my perspective, working with clients coming and transitioning out. And even sometimes we work with their family if we have an ROI to help, support the family and what this might look like for them moving forward. Because sometimes people can't really tell their family how they feel, or, they're embarrassed, or there's just so many gaps that peers can do. Okay. The system, the inconsistency that I find a lot is things change a lot in the field that I work in. So somebody might tell them, this is what you're going to do. I don't know. This is what this looks like for you. You're going to get placed here, and then you'll be placed somewhere else for respite. The inconsistencies that clients go through, that they feel a lack of communication, of understanding what's happening to them, or the process that they're going to go through. When they're in a courtroom and somebody says something to them, and if they're unable to comprehend what that means, an attorney could be very just cut and dry. So the inconsistencies that they go through is not understanding what's happening. They have a loss of freedom. They don't know what's going to happen next. And so I just bridge the gap for them to have a better understanding. And I'm able to break it down for them and meet them on their level of where they're coming from. The changes in the type of services available as they move through various systems is hard. Some people don't understand why they're stuck in community restoration and required by a court order to stay in a respite facility that's locked down. They may not feel like their symptoms are as severe as others that they're presenting there. I mean, these systems are long, they're not just 30, 60, 90 days. I have clients that are in aid and assist for a year or longer, and they're on hold, sitting in the system, being placed places. Some have DD services, like disability services, where they don't understand what's happening to them, and they can't comprehend why they're stuck where they're at, and they don't understand why their court case is on hold. I just find that supporting them and trying to see them weekly, communicate with them, and be there for them is the best that I can do, because clinically, a lot of my team don't have time to take their calls or to go see them or to understand what they're going through. They're working behind the scenes to do referrals and move them through what they're supposed to do clinically. There's a lot of services available to clients in the community, and I think that if counties, I have friends in different counties, like coworkers. I have community partners in different counties, and I will reach out to them if I need to for extra support. But I find that my personal experience is being in and out of the systems myself. We didn't have peers back then when I was coming out of prison and doing 5 years in prison and coming out and trying to be a positive member of the community, get a job, navigate my life with so much anxiety, and coming back into my family. It was really hard to do all that. And I could see a lot of times I wanted to give up. And if it wasn't for me having treatment in prison and building some connections with some ladies that I released with, I don't know where I would be, but having someone to relate to my experience, what I was feeling, it really kept me going. And so being a peer, I can see like the changes happening for people who are struggling. And I feel like I feel like I'm a positive asset to my team. I bring a different perspective. I bring the support. I bring that connection piece that is lost in a lot of ways when we have team meetings. I can connect and we can collaborate and it just works out. So I'm happy that I'm able to utilize my personal experience moving forward, because it really has helped me keep going with my education, such as, going with the CADC 1. I'm not a counselor, but I'm working as a peer support because I feel like that's where the most is needed for me in my role right now. But that's all I have. I just think that peers are awesome and they can bring a big part of change to people's clinical team and really help people be heard. So, thank you.
Trina, wow. Wow. Thank you so much. That is absolutely amazing. I think all of our presenters have one thing in common here today before we move over to our Q&A opportunity. I just want to acknowledge things because I feel like not only are all of our presenters very generous with sharing what they're doing, I feel that what they have in common is all of their work that they are involved in, I think, is genuinely making the world a better place. Which I think sometimes we wonder, is there anything going on that's improving things in the world? And I think we're seeing it in abundance here. I can only imagine what things would be like if we didn't have people like our presenters doing the work that they're doing. So I think you're making a huge difference in the lives of a lot of people, friends. So we're just really grateful that you're able to take a little time from your work today and to join us and share your work, because it's pretty humbling and it's pretty amazing from my perspective. So thank you all for the work that you're doing.